Hello, everyone. It's currently Friday, March the 20th, 2020. As I record this update, state of the podcast, I don't know what you want to call it, but typically I reserve these little chats at the last Sunday of the month, and I realized things were so crazy last month. I actually missed February's, and given the circumstances, I say there's no time like the present. So let's do our update a little bit early, shall we? So I'm not sure who out there knows me or what I've done, or if you've listened to enough of Max Pugh to kind of glean that information, but I am a healthcare provider in the state of West Virginia, and as you can imagine, COVID-19 has really been an interesting development as far as that goes. As of probably a half hour ago, we had our first confirmed case in the city that I live in. So it's here. It's been here for months probably. Misdiagnosed as some flu strain that our tests weren't picking up, and now we've reached a pandemic status in worldwide, and that's just the nature of things. I'm in a position where working from home isn't really an option, so that's kind of where I am right now, and it's a little bit frustrating. It's a little bit scary, but this too shall pass. So how is COVID-19 affecting the podcast, which is probably why you downloaded this and listened to it, not to hear me mope for any period of time, but I feel like it was necessary to give a little bit of context. But Max Pugh is traditionally recorded live at the table. I'm at my computer right now recording this. My gaming area is 15 feet away, a little annex in the basement of my home that me and 4 or 5 other people would sit down and record, and have done so for over 2 years now. So in the interest of social distancing, and as a result of me being extremely high risk due to my occupation, it doesn't make any sense for us to record live for the foreseeable future. And it's a bit serendipitous that we completed our Dead Sons playthrough several months ago. Those episodes are uploaded. The series finale will release on, I believe, April 8th. So it's not going to affect the mainline series. The bonus content that we've had with Extra Life, it was recorded last May. It's just a matter of editing those episodes and getting them put up. So we're going to have I've got plenty of content to get us through the end of April, and then there's a lot of uncertainty because I don't really have anything else after that. And I know that I intended to take a little bit of a hiatus after completing Dead Sons because, that was 102 episodes. It's roughly 2 years of weekly content that has gone uninterrupted since 2018. So I figured that I probably earned myself a little bit of time to regroup, catch up, maybe do some games that I'd read but hadn't run yet. And now COVID-19 is sort of enforcing that. So what's a podcaster to do? So I am looking at some alternative recording modalities. I know a lot of my peers record online. Their players are all over the world, in fact, and they coordinate and record on the weekly and put their podcast episodes out as a result of those recordings. So it can be done. Now, we had planned a new mainline series based off of a recent Starfinder adventure path, but I don't think that's the appropriate. I don't think online's the appropriate medium. There is something about the dynamic at the table, and I will be honest, there is the danger of distraction with online gaming. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people may have much better experiences, much better discipline as far as online games go, but I'm not sure what I was trying to do in the original spirit of what I was trying to do is conducive to online recording. So what I'm planning on doing is something a bit different than I've wanted to do, that is sort of a short series that would be conducive to online play, that will help us create some content in spite of COVID-19 and our usual production modalities. And I'm looking forward to actually starting that up, getting some episodes out, and injecting some normality into what has been a very irregular and very disruptive period of time for a lot of people. And I encourage and challenge every one of you who has the ability to run games online, or my fellow podcasters, to do the same. This is a weird time, and now more than ever probably we need some distractions, because social media and the news and everything else out there, there's not much good news going around, and what good news we are getting is matched against 4 or 5 pieces of bad. So let's continue doing what we've been doing, and let's adapt, and let's thrive in spite of this. And that's my goal, and that is what I'm asking you all to help me keep accountable and do. This podcast started as an accountability project, and my original goal was to finish Dead Sons, and we did. So I need another goal, and I think the right thing to do right now is just baby steps. This small project that can be done a few hours a night for a couple months will get us quite a bit of content that I believe will be very entertaining, and will involve people outside of my normal circles, and it will help us, achieve this goal of flattening the curve, as we healthcare providers have been sort of harping on and asking everyone else to help us do. So that's my plan right now. It was a few days ago, before I'd actually given this much thought, it was weighing down my mind, and I was kind of shutting down, didn't really want to confront the issue, but I think ultimately this will make me feel better, and it will buy us some time until we can get the band back together and we can start recording at the table again, get that dynamic going. So, that's the foreseeable future. Like I said, Dead Sons will be wrapping up April 8th. You're listening to this on March the 20th. Well, I'm probably going to put it up as soon as I finish recording, which means March 20th. You've got, about 3 more episodes left of Dead Sons. That's pretty exciting. Which means you're probably going to get into the big final boss encounter, which did take some time to resolve, and it was fun to run, and we backs were against walls. So look forward to listening to the adventures of the crew of the Sunrise Maiden getting pushed to the brink. As far as Extra Life content, the Secrets of Cats continues. Episode 4 should be coming out either this weekend or next weekend. If I am diligent, it'll be this weekend, and there will be a week hiatus before the new Extra Life content, just because the month of March had 5 Sundays. The month of April will be the debut of Head, Heart, Hands, Hell. This was a Things from the Flood adventure that I wrote and actually published for Things from the Flood, a Free League product. You've probably heard me talk about it about 500,000 times at this point. But I wrote that adventure and ran it for the charity event last May. And I think this is really the only... I've ran it multiple times at this point, but this is really the only time that it's been recorded, so consider this the canonical version, I guess. And then, it's... depending on, the side project, getting people together and getting it organized, we might have some content again starting in May. But, that's the nature of it. That's where we are. I want to be frank and honest with everyone here about that. I would encourage you to check out some of the other podcasts as well. If for whatever reason the sudden lack of deluge of Max Pugh content is leaving a hole in your playlist, our friends at MinMaxed, for example, or our friends at Strange Gods, 2 very good options for you if you're looking for some supplemental materials. Our friends at Southern Tomfoolery, we've got quite a few. What Do You Do podcasts available on Twitter has a catalog of all these, but there's probably over 100 Pathfinder and Starfinder pods out there, and there's some really good ones. And you might have some extra time due to quarantines or whatnot, and I'd encourage you to check them all out. There's some really cool people out there, some that I've had the fortune of working with side projects on, and love these lads and lasses to death. So give them some support too. They would appreciate a little bump during this time as well. So I believe that's pretty much all I had. I mean, I know this was a lot of rambling, and maybe this was a bit cathartic for me too, but I did feel the need to make sure everything was on the table, make sure everyone knew what was going on, because COVID-19, it's changing a lot of things, and some of them aren't necessarily positive, but I want to assure everyone that, me and my family, we're doing fine. We're in good shape. So long as we can stay healthy. That's my biggest concern. I have concerns for how long I'll be able to hold out, but with any luck, it'll be indefinitely. But, we're good. No concerns over here. We're amply supplied and all that stuff. So I ask that everyone else do what they can to stay safe. Heed the warnings about social distancing. Heed your local government's warnings concerning closures and lockdowns and all that stuff. Some scary words going around, but honestly, these will ultimately help us manage this better. It might stick around longer, but we will be able to manage it better as a result. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of the month, and I will see you guys next month.